Imagine this. You're standing in your living room. The quiet hum of the fridge in the kitchen is the only sound in the background. The clock ticks louder than it should. Your girlfriend is moving in tomorrow, and the apartment feels like it's closing in on itself. Boxes, clutter, tension. Every square foot matters. But the real pressure, it's not just the stuff, it's the silence. Your roommate, who's supposed to be moving out in 3 days, hasn't packed a single box. Not one. Not even the winter boots tucked under the coat rack. Not the bag of plant soil still sitting in the kitchen, where your cat has been trying to chew through the plastic. Not even the blender that hasn't been touched in a year. So, you do something. You box up a few things. Just the non-essentials. The boots, the blender, the soil. You label them. You leave the boxes open, sitting in the middle of the living room, clearly visible. It's not a threat, you tell yourself. It's not a demand. It's help, right. But the next morning, something shifts. The boxes are gone, not packed, not moved, just unpacked. Everything returned to where it was. Boots back under the rack, blender back in the cabinet, soil still on the kitchen floor. You feel the confusion crawl up your neck. So, you ask her, calmly, respectfully. She says she didn't like you touching her stuff. And suddenly, it's not just about boots or blenders anymore. It's about boundaries, intentions, respect, and the creeping question you can't shake. Did I just cross a line? Let me take you back. For 2 years, you've shared this apartment with her. And for those 2 years, you've done most of the cleaning, the vacuuming, the organizing. You've navigated a quiet but constant tension, the kind that doesn't scream, it simmers. The kind you can't always name, but you feel it. Every time you mop around her shoes. Every time you clean the kitchen and she walks past the dishes. And now, the end is near. She's moving out. The lease is being transferred into your name. Your girlfriend, your future, is moving in. There's excitement, hope, but also anxiety. Because your soon-to-be ex-roommate hasn't even started packing, and time is running out. So when you were cleaning that day, it felt natural. You picked up what she wasn't using. You boxed it gently. You weren't invading her bedroom. You weren't boxing up her memories. Just the common area clutter. Things you thought she wouldn't need in the next 72 hours. You didn't tape the boxes shut. You didn't hide them. You didn't throw anything out. You thought you were being thoughtful, strategic, helpful. But she didn't see it that way. She saw control, invasion, pressure, maybe even a power play. She said, "Don't touch my stuff." And you heard, "You crossed a boundary." That's when the questions started spinning in your mind like loose papers in a storm. Was this really about packing? Or was this about everything that had built up over the years? The silent resentment, the unspoken expectations, the roles we fall into when we live with someone for too long without ever really talking. Maybe you were tired of cleaning up after her. Maybe she was tired of being quietly resented. Maybe neither of you ever said what needed to be said. But now, 3 days before the lease ends, it's all coming to the surface. She puts everything back, not because she needs her boots, but because she wants to reclaim control. Because even though she's moving out, this is still her home. For now. You apologize, because deep down, you understand. You tell her you were just trying to help, that you were cleaning anyway, that the space is about to get smaller and more chaotic, that your girlfriend is moving in and it's going to be tight. She nods, not with anger, but with understanding. Maybe even forgiveness. She tells you she has her own way of packing, her own timeline, and she'll ask if she needs help. You step back, you breathe, and then, like clockwork, the next day, she starts packing. The tension lifts, just slightly. A door cracked open. A signal that yes, she is moving. That maybe you overreacted. That maybe she wasn't trying to sabotage you. She was just overwhelmed. Human. Flawed. Like you. Fast forward a few days. She's gone. Mostly. She left behind some things. A bed frame. A broken dresser. A few bags of frozen food in the back of the freezer. But the space is emptier. Quieter. And somehow, it doesn't feel like a victory. It feels like the ending of something you never fully understood. You stand there in the same living room, but now it's different. Because it's yours. Because she's gone. Because now you're left with one lingering question. So, am I the asshole? Was I wrong for trying to help? For trying to create order in the chaos? Or was I just trying to speed up a process that wasn't mine to control? Did I act with kindness? Or did I act out of impatience? And if the answer is somewhere in between, what does that say about me? Host reflection. This story isn't about boxes, or boots, or who did the most cleaning. It's about boundaries. It's about how even the most well-intentioned actions can come off as pressure when communication is missing. It's about how easy it is to confuse helping with controlling. And how sometimes the line between care and resentment is razor thin. We've all been there, caught between the urge to be helpful and the desire to just have things done the way we want them. Especially when emotions are high, especially when change is coming. But here's the lesson. Help isn't help unless it's wanted. Kindness without consent can feel like control, and even when you're right about timing, you can still be wrong about approach. So, what would you have done? Would you have waited? Would you have asked first? Or would you have packed the box? Let us know in the comments, because sometimes the real story starts after the packing ends. This is AITA Stories. Thanks for listening.